Let's talk a little bit about compression in Ubuntu Desktop. You're probably familiar with zip files, especially if you're used to using a Windows system. However, even on Mac OS X, it's very likely that you've seen zip files. However, in Linux, there are two other very common types of compressed files. Those would be the tar.gz files and tar.bz2 files. Now, these are very similar to zip in that they're simply compressed files or a compressed file that has been brought together in a zip or a tar.gz or a tar.bz. Now, in Ubuntu Desktop, dealing with these compressed kinds of folders and files is very simple. So if we want to open up a zip file, we can simply double-click on it. Now we have the option, as we would with any operating system, to extract the files. We can even add files to the archive, that is, add additional files to the zip file. Or instead of hitting extract over here, which would allow us to select where we would like to extract the contents, we can simply select the contents of this zip file and we can drag and drop them to our desktop. This will do the same thing as extracting them, and I hope that you're familiar with this concept from other operating systems. Shouldn't be anything too new there. However, again, people who are new to Linux may be confused by the tar.gz and tar.bz2 files. Just know that these are essentially the same as zip files. They're archives which have compression attached. The tar.gz file has gzip compression applied, where the tar.bz2 file has bzip2 compression applied. So if we want to extract the tar.bz2 file, we can double click on it as we did with the zip, and then we can either drag and drop the folder out to our desktop or wherever we would like to extract those contents, or we can click on the extract button and we can then browse to a location and select extract. You can see the operation is complete. You can quit, show the files, or close the message. The same is true of tar.gz files. The same methods will apply here. You can drag and drop, or you can select extract in order to open up the contents of those files. Now, if you would like to create a compressed file, you can do that by right mouse clicking on a folder, or additionally, you can right mouse click on files themselves. Let's go ahead and select all of these files, right mouse click on one of them since they're all selected, and click on compress. We can now choose what type of compression we would like to apply. The familiar zip, tar.gz, tar.bz2, and a host of other options. Let's go ahead and zip all of these up, and we'll hit create. You can see now that the archive was created. We can choose to open it or close this message. And here you see the compressme.zip file. Now it's named compressme because that's the name of the folder in which these files resided. But if we open up the zip file, we see that it only contains these three files that we selected. We'll now move this to the trash and go back to our desktop and right mouse click on the folder itself in order to compress it. This time, let's choose a new compression algorithm, tar.gz, that'll use gzips compression, and select create. This has created the compressme.tar.gz archive, and now if we double click on this file, we'll see the compressme folder inside. Inside this folder, we have those same documents, but notice the subtle difference. When we right mouse clicked on the folder and compressed it, the folder was added to our archive. When we selected the files themselves and right mouse clicked and compressed them, the archive only contained these files. Again, this should be very familiar to you. The only thing new here is the addition of tar.gz and tar.bz2, which you will see very frequently when working in Ubuntu Desktop, downloading files, installing programs, and scripts.